and heavy hearts as we head into this weekend with a touching processional through the Queen City just less than 2 hours ago. The body of fallen firefighter Jason Arno transported from ECMC to Amagon Funeral Home. The 2.5-mile trip took about 12 minutes, with firefighters, other first responders, and neighbors standing at attention, and also with the Air One helicopter flying overhead. And we don't yet know memorial plans for Jason Arno, though we're told that he will be remembered with full honors and with firefighters from all over coming to pay their respects. Meanwhile, the investigation continues at the scene of the fire on Main Street, and today we got a lengthy statement from the federal ATF, which is assisting Buffalo with the investigation. So we will talk about that coming up in just a few minutes. In the meantime, while that investigation continues, a lot of people are looking for ways to give back. That includes a lot of businesses here in Buffalo. Oxford Pennant is just a few doors down from the building that caught fire. The business remains closed, and even though folks there can't even get into the shop, that doesn't mean they aren't coming up with ways to help. So joining us live here tonight at 5:30 in studio is Brett Mikoll, the co-founder and creative director of Oxford Pennant. We appreciate you coming in here and talking to us about this. Obviously, it's been a difficult few days for everybody in Buffalo. Your business seriously impacted by this, but your thoughts obviously with the Arno family. Tell me about what's going to be going on this weekend to try to help.
Sure. Well, thank you for having me. So this weekend our retail store is closed because it's on the 700 block of Main Street, but we thought we got to do something, right? When times are tough, you kind of dig in deeper, and so what we decided was any sort of sale, any sort of retail sale that happens, whether it's through our website or we have a couple of stores locally, Realm on Genesee and Oak Street, that's going to carry some of our products. Any sale, all profits are donated right to the fallen firefighters' family.
What was the response like when you spoke with Buffalo Fire Commissioner Ronaldo about it this week? Does it come as a surprise to you that people are reaching out and trying to help in any way they can? You
know, my business partner gave him a call, and you know, in such a chaotic and traumatic time, he picked up the phone, and just like any Buffalonian would, right? And how can you help? And that's the first thing, and you help with the tools that you got. And so for us, we have a pennant company, right? We make consumer goods. We make things that say positive reinforcement things or pro-Buffalo things, and I think that is, you know, again, using the tools that you got, you kind of do what you can.
It obviously hits close to home for you guys being so close to where this fire happened.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine you're very thankful for the response of Buffalo Fire and being able to keep this fire from spreading even worse than it was. I mean, what do you think now when you look at the shell of a building that's so close to where you guys are?
I've said it to family and friends over the past few days. It really felt like a disaster movie when it was happening in real time, and the firefighters at the same time were so focused and calculated. And those buildings on that block, as anyone who's driven down there knows, like those are in the city some of the close to, like they're butted up right against each other, right? And just to have it not spread further than it did is quite an accomplishment, and quite like. Any sort of training that they have is obviously like they are the best in the game at it. And so we're so thankful that they saved what they could of the block and the building. And, you know, I do think, you know, our friends at DC Theatrics, you know, that family, like we were able to talk with them a little bit, and they're in good enough spirits. But, you know, it goes to show that like we really have some of the best in the business here.
What have you been told just in terms of, you know, there's a perimeter set up right now. No one can get near that building for obvious reasons. I mean, it is very unstable. The demolition has been paused because they want to give some space for investigators to get in there. What have you been told just in terms of how long it could be like that?
Just to wait and see, wait and find out. You know, we're in no rush. We're going to play ball with whatever they need, however much time. And, you know, fortunately, we have a location right up the block where we manufacture everything. And you know, we're kind of all being a close family in there now because we're all kind of working out of there. So, you know, we don't have many details, but we're also not asking for many.
Yeah. What do you think about the future of the block right there, and how long it may take, I mean, to get back to some sense of normalcy?
It's an interesting part of downtown because it's on the edge of the theater district. There's residential, there's businesses, some public facing, some not. And I think this is going to take a while to figure out what the feeling of the block is, but I think all of our business friends there are resilient, and there's a good community there, and I think, you know, some good will come out of it. It'll probably take some time, but I'm very hopeful.
Yeah, and obviously yours among other businesses that are trying to find ways to help this family that's grieving and this city that is grieving.